He's loving this. Big smile on his face.
Movement, dynamics, motion is all about rhythms, all about balance, and so is painting in many ways. So that whole process this morning of getting Richard in his Jaguar to drive backwards and forwards past various features, past various trees, different elevations, it's all helping me find the right balance of tone, the right balance of light areas and dark areas, so that once I start constructing the picture, I've got a healthy balance of shapes, tonal shapes, which will create an interesting composition that will help me bring out the best in his car and his experience of driving it.
Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for medals, I'm not looking for colour and stuff.
And I should come back to my studio with a number of sketches and probably 200 or 300 photographs. And from those sketches and photographs, I'll distill the ones which I think have got potential and distill it right down to probably working with 2 or 3 images. And when I say images, that's compositions which I think will work. Then once we've chosen the composition, very much studio work, I will do some pretty detailed drawings. And the drawings, again, aren't focusing on colour, they're focusing on shape. And I sort of build a jigsaw of shapes together. And those shapes for me are areas of light and areas of dark. And after I've done those detailed drawings on paper, because this commission is a watercolour commission, I will then apply masking fluid to that drawing. And masking fluid, I suppose it looks a bit like Tipex. It's a sort of yellow liquid that you apply with a very fine brush to the paper, to the bits of the paper that you want to keep white. And the masking fluid seals that piece of paper. It sort of dries and covers that paper. It dries very quickly after a couple of minutes. And once all the bits of paper which I want to keep white have had masking fluid applied to them and covered them and sealed them, I can then start adding my washes of watercolour. I'll usually start with the sort of the warmer colours, the oranges, the ochres, the browns, the reds, doing loose washes with lots of water. And then once I'm happy with the warmer colours, I'll introduce the cooler colours, the blues, the greens, and if you mix the warmer colours and the bluer colours, you get those nice sort of sepia and grey tints that I'm working towards. And once I've done all the watercolour washes, it's a question of leaving the watercolour to dry, to mix together, to dry on the paper. And when it's bone dry, you move into the next phase, which is basically rubbing off the masking fluid. And so you lift off all the masking fluid, and you're left with the white bits of the paper. And you then start to see how the picture begins to make sense. And you'll see how the masking fluid creates the kind of straight edges that I have in my watercolours, which make the watercolours quite unusual. Because usually watercolours, you've got very soft, translucent, blurry edges. With my watercolours, they're very hard edges that give the sort of the print-like quality or the photographic quality, an old-fashioned negative or transparency, which is what I want to get, actually, that sort of feeling of nostalgia and timelessness. So the final bit, which a lot of people think is madness, is I do a bit of flicking of paint onto the finished picture. So I won't do much on this, but just a little bit. And I do this because anything that moves at speed, be it a car, be it a horse, be it a boat, there's always some sort of mud or spray or grit. Watercolours should be sort of spontaneous, impulsive paintings. They should be quick, they should be immediate, and often a bit of flicking of water and spray is part of the process. I think that is pretty much it. There you go. Then I'll sign it. Then I hope he likes it. Right, come on, let's do this. Let's do this. You ready?
Yeah, yes.
Oh yeah, that's really cool, isn't it? Even got the number plate on there as well. That's really nice. Love the blues. That's really sets it off lovely, doesn't it? Yeah, that's great. Oh, that's worth every penny. You're a clever man.
Thank you very much.
That is really good. I really like the Aston, but now you've done that.
Do you think Helen will like it?
Yeah, I think she'll love it actually. That's really clever.